Daisy chains and sweet champagne, and 2 days alone with you. Not too far from the city by car, or maybe we can make a more romantic trip by train to the country. It's where I want to be with you for the week.
Say hi, dear.
Hi.
Say welcome to Heritage Homestead Creations.
Welcome to Heritage Homestead Creations. How y'all doing?
Yeah, look what we got going on here. We're going to call this part, I think we just did part 12, and I was like drenched in sweat again,
Yes.
working on the presses. So we're going to call this part 12 the press, but we got another side item here that we had to kind of put together in a hurry, and literally we cranked this out in about 2 hours. Kind of crazy. It looks like a pallet, honey. We built a pallet that's like square.
Always.
Kind of looks like a pallet. But, and here's the lid for it, right there. T's in the process of doing the one thing I hate to do, and that's polyurethane. Let's see. I'm gonna tell you what. All right, so this is blackjack oak.
It's some stinky crap, but
It's
beautiful wood.
really, yes, like she said, stinky wood. Very stinky. When you're cutting it, it kind of, it's not the best smelling wood. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. And this section right here, that's actually punky half-rotten wood, literally. These are the boards that we milled to do our barn down there, okay? And we took the blackjack oaks, because that's what we got a lot on the property, some big ones, and we milled them down to make the barn boards. And that's what this is. This is barn boards, my friends. But what we're going to do with it is we are in a big need and a big hurry for a place to store. She's going to get the inside there.
As far as my little arms can reach.
As for your little arms. That's some pretty looking wood. Alright, so we'll walk down here. So we've got, let's see if I can hold this thing steady. Woohoo! Bouncing around. Let's get dizzy! Alright, so down at our barn, many of you will be familiar with recent videos where we've shown you on my other channel, the real Erin.scott, all our potatoes. So we've been hanging them out here. Problem is, if you can see, they're turning green. And I really don't want them to turn green, because that's like the green potatoes have what's in them that is necessary to create the poison that is within almost all nightshades. So all of these really need to get put into a bin in the house. Talking about creations, Miss Piggy there is pregnant. She is loaded down with babies. Mr. Corkscrew here is stupid hot. You don't have to get up there, old girl. Anyway. Alright, so since I'm going to call this part, let's see, 13? I think it's 13 of the apple press build. Let's go look at what I'm doing over here. So once we went through, and we got a whole ton of scrap of that stuff. Oh, it might be good for a cutting board or something. I'll make something else out of it. I'm working on the next portion of the apple press builds. I've got the press plates right there. You see that? These big round wheels right here. And I gotta route the corners and sand them down real good. And these are gonna be the zombie stompers. I'm gonna call them the zombie stompers, and I'm laying them out. And you can kind of see the two lines, and this will be the paddle side, and this will be the long handle. So that's what I've been doing since we got that potato bin. It's a big old potato bin is what we've made done. I'm gonna work on this in this incredible heat. We keep going in and out of these clouds. I sure would love it if they'd push a cold front through here, which is supposed to happen in a couple days. So anyway, we got some beautiful quarter sawn red oak out of that tree I did year before last, and it sat all last year on my front porch and dried, and y'all saw that. Look at that beautiful wormy oak. You see the wormholes? All those little itty bitty wormholes, those are real wormholes, not ice picks jammed into them. So with the boards that I had, I've got enough to make 5. I always do extras whenever I can. I'm going to do as much as I can with what I can, so that I'm prepared for the next one, because I got extra parts and pieces right there for the potential of the next press. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Let me get these drilled and cut. Hello. There we go. Preparing to cut the sides on them, and then we're gonna have to route the round over on all of it, and then I'm gonna have to cut a nice big not a circle, a big curve in one side. And that what that does is, you can see it. Oh, it's too dark in here now that we went into a cloud. What it does, it provides a good angle for all the teeth or the screw heads of the scratter barrel to kind of rub off of, so you're not putting stress on the scratter barrel too much. So I'm sitting here sweating, and I'm gonna see if I can drill some holes, cut the handles out and all that, and we'll catch up with you here in a bit. You gonna record me?
I am.
Oh no! So you're done with piling?
I am.
You finished up the potato bin.
Yep, I just gotta wait for it to dry so I can put the taters in it.
Alright, well, I just finished putting the holes in here that gives me that little inside radius for our little zombie stompers. Our zombie stompers. And off of those, and then I've got to cut them out. The one thing I love about wood is, I don't care how perfect you want to be when you're doing certain things like this, you have to deal with the wood and whatnot. So if you zoom, come on down in here real close. So you see I've got my layout lines. And I marked the center of these holes, and it doesn't matter. You see that little point right there? That little point right there finds the least resistant path. And when it gets going down, it'll go down in between the winter growth and the summer growth. So it'll find that path, and not all of the, so these little growth rings will guide that tip. So it doesn't matter where you think you want it. Sometimes it goes where it wants to go, and it moves this way or that way, and it doesn't matter. So each one of these is not going to be like a perfectly machined exact take a caliper to it kind of thing. It's kind of fudging it along the way, but it'll work and it'll do its thing. And each one will be different. It'll have its own grain. It'll have its own characteristic. and it'll be a one-of-a-kind kind of thing. Even though it's similar to all the others, you know, that's
each of them are different. I mean, even the apple presses themselves are different.
Everyone, there's not one that's the same. Everyone is slightly different. So we're sweating it out here. You're done sweating because you got it fixed.
Oh, I gotta go clean up some other taters and then put the other taters in the.
Yeah, you got tater.
So I'm not done sweating.
You're tater working.
I am. I got tater job today.
Tater job, and then yeah. So
we just lost our son.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna run it. I have to run that. That has to run on the generator. So the shopsmith has to run on the generator. All right, so I'm gonna cut these out. I'm not gonna get them probably fully done this afternoon, but we'll show you what that looks like in just a little bit. All right, so let's take a quick look as she complains. She says it's too hot out here. All right, so I've cut the profile. I'll tell you what, that's a wonker. You can pound some stuff with that right there. Yep, it's heavy. All right, so I've gotten this, and all right, on the insides here, I'll have to get a little sanding drum and clean up the insides right here. And then the next step is I've got to cut a nice radius here. This is the radius that you need to kind of go up against the Scratter apple grinding drum. And it'll be done in such a way that, you know, this grain is incredibly strong. But you see I've stopped, a little shy of the corner here because I'm going to round this over. So all these edges are going to get rounded over on the router table as soon as I get the basic shape done. So I'm going to cut this just like I cut the handle out, and there's all the little pieces right there. They come off of here. I got to sand this down before I run the router on it, so I need a nice smooth corner here, and then I'll run the router all the way around this thing so that this whole thing is nice and smooth and round and easy to hold on to. But before I do that, while I still have a chance, I need to cut that out. So I had to shut the generator off to show you that part. I will use the sanding station to smooth that out, and we'll get all that done. Then we'll route it. Then we'll hand sand it again. It's a lot of work. Oops, snagging that. To make your zombie stomper, or apple stomper, or pear stomper, or whatever. That's a heck of a piece of wood right there, I'm going to tell you what. You could go into the arena with that. I'm going to tell you, there's some... You wouldn't need swords and stuff. One good whack in the head with that. You ain't going nowhere. Alright, so let me get that done. Alright, folks. I had to relocate the generator over there, so you can hear it running, so that I can have a reasonably cool house to go to sleep in, to run both my AC units. Anyway, but I have been able to run things that, can you see it? Not for all those cords. Anyway, it's full power. Tilt my panel back. I'm still off grid and I'm running on solar, and I'm doing the sanding on these dudes. That's gonna be pretty wicked. Once you get these rounded off, it's gonna be a nice little food preparation implement. A food preparation implement. I will have to set up the router table to get all these corners rounded off. But I was trying a little something different here. I took one of them And this one, when I got to cutting this profile on here, right here, because I did that up on the bandsaw, and it leaves little pieces just looking like that, just corners knocked off of the ends of it. So I took the bandsaw and I cut around there, and then I took the belt sander and sanded it down. This one had a big old knot right here, and this could be not good, because if this is the part where the screws will hit, it's just, you couldn't see it until you cut into it. And so there you go. This one I decided to try a little something different with, and I can come back here and cut it back further and take that out and still have a usable instrument, a usable food processing instrument. We can process you. We will process you into food. Alright, so it's been too hot for me. Anyway, so this is the curve. Took the Dremel. These are handy little dudes, but they wear out real quick. And smoothed out the inside of, all of these inside corners, sounded the outside edges, sounded these edges, and then sounded that. You see how that works? So this is the part that will go up against the scratter barrel. And so I've made 5 of them. I only need 3 for the 3 current presses that we have standing back there. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can count. And then we got 3 there, and I had an extra here that I can modify and it'll work, and I got this one. So all of those need to be rounded over on all of these. Every corner needs to be rounded over, and then hand sanded to a nice smooth finish. And then I'll probably just poly them. I don't need to, but I think I probably will. Help them preserve for a long time. Anyway, where's my beer? Oh, I don't have one. I have to go in and get one. Alright, folks. Well, long day, lots of projects, and you wouldn't think that you'd have to spend so much time on just a simple thing, but there you go. 4 of them done, 2 extras, and 3 to go with the presses. And I think I'm gonna call it good for the day, because I don't want to run that and all of these. See, I'll also have to round over the corners on the press plates at the same time, and we'll get all that done at one good old file swoop in the morning when it's cooler. We've done all we can do for the day, and tell you what, it's a lot of blue sky, but the clouds have been right over top of the sun. It's made it hard to run AC on the solar today, but we got the generator for backup. Anyway, I think that's enough for the day. Long story short, you always end up with lots of kindling. I'll tell you what, that disappears quickly come wintertime. Alright, we make everything out here. 2x4 oak, kindling, sawdust, pigs have been fed, and I think I've had enough. Hope you all do well. Say bye-bye, and next chance we get, we'll have those, and we'll probably start working on the slots for the press barrels. So lots done in a few days. We'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next.